So for the final time in the second phase of the qualifying heats, the green flag waves at the end of the pre-grid. And we get set for our second DD2 Masters heat out of 3, race 14 of the meeting. And your grid is as follows. Christophe Adams from Belgium will again start from pole position, having won the first heat earlier on today. Sławomir Morański in the number 561 from Poland will be in second ahead of Michael Becker from Germany in P3. Bruno Dos Santos in the 503 representing France will line up alongside the German. In row 3 we have Tom Dessert in the 567 lining up alongside Rudy Champion from PKS Competition in the 544. Firstly, on behalf of Dave Ritson, I'd like to personally thank Carl Klibort for the ice cream that he provided David with earlier on. So I think that has been very much enjoyed with the hot weather conditions we're experiencing here. Sebastian Humpelhardt will line alongside the man simply known by 2 words, De Bakker. And Humpelhardt will be in the 509. Thomas Schumacher in the number 531 will start in 9th alongside Belgium's Bart Koeman. Tanju Yildiz from Germany will have France's Jonathan de Brouwer alongside from PKS Competition. And then rounding out the order will be Konrad Bayer, also from RS Competition, with a couple of other drivers in here, so Humpelhardt and Becker. So Konrad Bayer in the 508 representing Germany will have Rinaldo Gremiger, the sole Swiss entrant in this category, in the 527 from KSCA, Saudi Europe, my apologies there. So we have 10 minutes set on the clock, plus an additional lap. And it will be down to Adams and Morański to see who gets the jump on the start phase here at Karting Genk. After this, we will have 7 more races to go before we go into finals day, which starts tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock with the senior Rotax second chance heat. So top 10 it is Adams, Morański, Becker, Dos Santos, Dessert, Champion, Klebord, Humpelhardt, Schumacher and Koeman. That is your top 10. Now they start moving forward, looking to make their mark here at the home of champions. Part 2 of this race day is now about to get on going, and we go lights out. It's a very tentative start, but they let it go as Adams gets into the lead early on. As there's some moves up the inside, Tom Dessert fancies a chance maybe trying to get past Dos Santos, who gets one thrown up the inside. Looks to be Sebastian Humpelhardt, but I think it's just gone through. Oh, someone goes off nearly with 2 wheels onto the dirt through between turns 4 and 5. As now the field makes its way down into turn 7. Adams comes out of turn 8, being closely followed by Morański, and that looks to be, I think, might be Michael Becker. Rudy Champion now down in third, now is in 4th place. And in 5th will be Sebastian Humpelhardt from Germany. They come across the start-finish line to complete lap number 1. Christophe Adams not going to have an easy one this time, I fear, as Morański definitely wants to get an upper hand on the Belgian. But he's going to have to think about whether he's going to need to attack or defend, because Germany's Michael Becker is putting the inaugural DD2 Masters champion of 2018 under pressure, but Rudy Champion pounces past the German through turn 6, down the back straightaway, gets the little love tap from behind by the German, but then Sebastian Humpelhardt definitely closing in, as is Tom Dessert, who's got past Bruno Dos Santos. Carl Klebort is behind the likes of Bart Koeman and Thomas Schumacher at the moment. Rinaldo Gremiger, who started in last position, now is up into P11 on the Sodikart chassis. We now will complete lap number 2, and the top 2 have started to break away from the rest of the field. as champion. Oh, Rumpelhardt up the inside of Becker. 4P4. Nicely done. Cleanly past the teammates. As they say, the golden rule is you never take out your teammates. And I have seen that happen a few times over the past couple of seasons. But now, Adams really has to watch it. Tom Dessau is the quickest driver out there in 6th position. A 55.730 by the GKS Lemons Power driver, currently sitting in P6, but is catching the RS competition pair of both Michael Becker in 5th and Sebastian Rumpelhardt. Dessau could have an opportunity going through turn 10. He goes up the inside of Becker. Cleanly done. Goes the Belgian in the 567. Now he's going to fancy a chance up the inside of Rumpelhardt. Through into turn 12. Rumpelhardt trying to get the switchback. The pair goes side by side across the line. Dessau ahead by a whisker. Rumpelhardt trying to force the issue going up the inside. Dessau keeps it pinned. Goes back towards the inside to cover off Becker. Up the inside of turn 3. Oh my goodness me. Dessau has made this race something entertaining. And he's trying. I cannot believe he tried to do that. Go up the inside of Rumpelhardt. Through into turn 5. Had to slot back behind the RS competition driver. Going into the right at 6. But that was close indeed. Oh, nearly through abreast. Oh, Konrad Bayer nearly went up the inside of Jonathan de Brauw. Through into turn number 7 there. The 508 from Germany with RS competition. Nearly making it through abreast. And I think even Ronaldo Gremiger might have been involved in that in some respect. As Tom Dessau pounces and nearly goes sideways past. I cannot believe I've just seen that. Tom Dessau loses out not just to Sebastian Rumpelhardt. Oh my goodness, Bruno dos Santos, you absolute opportunist. Trying to make it through wide into turn 1. He gets up the inside of Becker. Dessau has got a get out of jail free card. And behind, they're all after each other. Thomas Schumacher's in this. Carl Clermont's not too far behind. This could get very, very ugly. Very, very quickly. As there we go, De Backer goes up the inside. And that was a great move from Carl Clermont, who is the reigning and defending BNL Karting Series DD2 Masters champion. Is up the inside. For 2nd position goes Rudy Champion on Slavomir Moransky. And Christoph Adams is laughing all the way to the bank at the moment because he's over 0.3 of a second ahead of these two that are squabbling over 2nd place. Tom Dessau now has a chance to close in on Sebastian Rumpelhardt for 4th place. 5 minutes and 15 to go, plus an additional lap. Adams now has a lead of over 7.5 of a second over Rudy Champion and has set the best lap of anybody, back on lap number 4. As Tom Dessau sizing up Sebastian Rumpelhardt. As up the inside of Michael Becker goes Francis Bruno dos Santos. And I thought it was going to be a quiet DD2 Masters affair. Well, hang on a minute. Oh no, Becker's been spat out! Becker's been spat out over turn 8, and it's all gone wrong down at the second half of the field. Oh, Dos Santos went up the inside of Becker and punted the German wide, but Becker has held on. Oh my goodness me. Michael Becker thrown to the wolves and to the grass off of turn 8. And he's down at the tail end of the field as a result of that move by Bruno dos Santos, which I think was a bit too overbearing there, but that is down to race control to decide. But in the meantime, as a result of that, Thomas Schumacher up to 6th, Carl Clermont 7th, Jonathan de Brouwer up to 8th, Konrad Bayer from Germany in 9th place. And rounding out the top 10, it's Bart Kuhlmann. And Bruno dos Santos now is 13th. But keep your eyes on Tom Dessau. He is looking menacing on the back bumper of Sebastian Rumpelhardt. So it is Belgium versus Germany. So we've got just 3.5 minutes remaining. Christoph Adams keeps on trucking, keeps on getting away. 0.976 of a second ahead of Rudy Champion, who still has not been able to break away from Slavomir Moransky in this race. Fourth still undecided at the moment because you've got Tom Dessau still trying to close on Sebastian Humpelhardt for 4th place. Thomas Schumacher still rounds out the top 6 ahead of Karl Klebert. Jonathan de Brouwer, Konrad Bayer, Bart Kuhlmann rounding out the top 10. Ronaldo Gremiger, the sole Swiss entrant in this class, is in 11th place ahead of Germany's Tanju Yildiz. And that battle is going to be quickly joined by France's Bruno dos Santos. Now on to lap number 8, and Christoph Adams now puts in another fastest lap, a 55.142. There's now Dos Santos up the inside of Tanju Yildiz into turn 2. Yildiz has to use the runoff area to keep himself out of harm's way, but does the sporting thing and lets Bruno Dos Santos pass because he realised straight away, if I use this runoff area, I've got a distinct advantage, and that would have been an instant time penalty. But I'm just sort of seeing that the two main battles that we have here at the moment is for 2nd and 3rd, 4th and 5th. So Rudy Champion still battling away with Sławomir Murański. Tom Dessert is getting closer and closer into the braking zone of turn 12. Gets a good run coming out of the corner. He's going to get in this slipstream of Sebastian Humpelhardt from Germany. As they now cross the line, Thomas Schumacher in 6th place, Karl Klebert in 7th, Jonathan de Brouwer in 8th place, as Bruno dos Santos now up into 12th position and is closing on Ronaldo Gremiger for 11th, going through into turns 3, 4, now into the left at 5. So just a minute and 10 seconds still to go, plus 1 lap. Christoph Adams, whilst everyone has been battling away, has literally been laughing all the way to the bank. As Dessert sends it sideways up the inside of Humpelhardt. Oh, the pair clash! The pair clash coming out of turn 10! More dramas. Oh my goodness me. When you think you've seen it all, Tom Dessert sent it in late on the inside of Sebastian Humpelhardt. Humpelhardt used the runoff area coming out of turn 10, and then he had nowhere to go but into the side of Tom Dessert, and Tom Dessert now plummets down to stone dead last. Oh, Becker gets a touch and goes off of turn 8 a few laps ago, and now it's the turn, unfortunately, for Tom Dessert. 15 on the clock to go, and still Christoph Adams is making hay whilst the sun shines. So revised order now, it is, Murański's going to go for it up the inside of Champion through turn 10. Gets the job neatly done. So this time we'll have 1 more lap to go, and the biggest battle you're going to see is between 2nd and 3rd place. Murański now against Champion. This is a repeat of what we saw at the Winter Cup back in February, as Champion looked towards the inside, through into turn 2, but knew there was no gap. Murański goes a little bit wide coming out of turn 3, but then quickly jumps back on the racing line through turns 4, 5 and into 6. And we've had a 5-second time penalty causing a collision. It is the 5-3-1 of Thomas Schumacher in 4th place that has just been handed as a 5-second time penalty, and that will drop Schumacher all the way behind Tanju Yildiz. No, it won't be Tanju Yildiz. 5 seconds, so that will put him ahead of Tanju Yildiz and drop him down to 12th position as a result of that. So checkered flag, 2 for 2 for Christoph Adams from Belgium. Murański takes 2nd. Champion trying to mount an offensive in the latter stages of the race, but still has to settle for 3rd best. Schumacher will cross the line in 4th, but will be demoted post-race. That means Karl Klebert will take 4th. Ahead of Jonathan de Brouwer, Sebastian Humpelhardt. Konrad Bayer will take 7th, but Kuhlmann will take 8th. I'm just looking at the gap now, so that will put Thomas Schumacher 13 seconds down off of the leader, and that will put him in 11th position behind Michael Becker. So it will be Christoph Adams winning ahead of Sławomir Murański, Rudy Champion, Karl Klebert, Jonathan de Brouwer, Sebastian Humpelhardt in 6th, Konrad Bayer in 7th position. And now the change has happened. So Adams wins by 1.147 seconds. Rudy Champion 3rd. Carl Klebort 4th. De Brouwer, Rumpelhart, Bayer, Koolman, Dos Santos, Becker in 10th. Schumacher in 11th after his penalty. Gremiger in 12th ahead of Tanju Yildiz, with Tom Dessert retiring on lap number 10.